mouth is the Democrats did it first. Because their real salty position is not about acting like they're holier than thou. It's about the Democrats always acting like they're on a higher moral ground and they're above board when one nugget of evidence after another always comes forth showing us they're not. That is frustrating for somebody who doesn't know all the facts and intricate details and studies this night and day like Roland Martin. Take a listen.
I have no idea what the hell Stephen A. was just talking about. I know Stephen A. I respect Stephen A. Stephen A., you know sports. On this, you know what the hell you talking about. Like, I literally have no idea what the hell he was talking about there. How he's pissed off and the Democrats and Trump said stuff was rigged. And y'all, MAGA is running that clip everywhere. Oh, they are saying, oh, see, even Stephen, the truth, they all knowing the truth. Go to my iPad.
So, Stephen A. Smith, balls kind of dropped, I guess. And he responded to your auntie Roro, Roland Martin, the typical niggercrat who jumps out in front of everybody to protect his poor old Democrat Party whenever they do something that they shouldn't have done, and people call it out. He jumps on it, the bullet, and he cares for the Democrat Party. So Stephen A. Smith, I guess, did a rant about how he doesn't like how the information about there being informants at January 6th didn't come out until after the election. When this happened, how long ago? Like, the report was there, the results were there. The FBI gave testimony years ago of what happened and what was there. And only now, 4 years later almost, 3 years and 8 months, they come out and say, oh, you know what? My bad. We had informers out there. And out of the 26, 23 of them went inside and did hood rat shit. They broke the law. They were part of the people who were. That's how they caught a lot of those people. Later on, apart from people snitching, the kids were snitching on their own parents and got their dads locked up and shit. That's crazy. White people for you. But outside of that, they knew who a lot of people were because they were informants that were there with them doing the crimes. And Stephen A. Smith exaggerated rant simply was saying that. Now, for whatever reason, Roland Martin went on the rant and had his typical panel in the background, kiki, ha-ha, and all in the background, making accusations about Stephen A. Smith that aren't necessarily true. But, yeah, this is standard. This is what happens often when you are not tap dancing for either party. It is what it is. I think, and I'll do a separate video on this, the most dangerous thing to the Democratic Party is not the black Republican. It's not. It's the black independent. They hate, even though they all vote for Democrats. Stephen A. Smith voted for Democrats. He said he only voted for one Republican. Charlemagne, Killer Mike, even though Killer Mike is a capitalist, even though Killer Mike's pro-gun, he still votes for Democrats and got them elected. He was running around with Bernie Sanders back in 2016. But I'm saying they hate those men more than they hate the typical black Republican. Because they're willing to work with both sides. They don't like that Stephen A. Smith can go on Hannity anytime he wants and talk to him and stuff. They don't like that Charlemagne gets calls to go on all sides of the media, left, right. They don't like that Killer Mike worked with his governor, who won, to get things for his community. They don't like that. They'll use that against you. The biggest threat to the Democratic Party is not the black Republican. It's the black independent man, which I think where most black men should be. Keep it a buck. But actually independent. These three men, they've only supported and voted for liberals. And yet they still get smoked, even though they've only done that. That's the crazy thing. Even though they've used their platforms, went out and campaigned, raised money, donated, all those things for Democrats still don't like them. Because every now and then, they're critical of the Democratic Party. They point out some of the fuckery that they get away with. And that's what people don't like on the left. One thing I know the difference between the right and the left is the right can disagree with you, 100%. But that one thing they agree with you, they're going to bring you on a show. They're gonna promote it. They're gonna, if you got a book, you got a article, they're gonna push it and promote it and get that point across because they agree with it. The left is different. The left will excoriate you. They can agree with 99% of the stuff that you say and you agree with, policy-wise, whatever. But that one thing you do that might make their candidate that they like look bad or hurt the party in any way, they will kick you out the party. They will excoriate you. And that's the biggest difference between the right and the left. It's like literally, you can't start holding them accountable. You can't start, like, Amanda Seals is the biggest retarded liberal feminist woman out there, but she properly said, yo, I met with Kamala Harris. She was kind of rude and condescending or whatever. I told her that you're not doing nothing. And guess what? I know she's different because black people don't like her. Even the left don't like her, just personality-wise either. But I'm saying, this is somebody, when it comes to politics, has been your ally, been on your side, has been a voice to use her platform. But every now and then, she points out some of the fuckery on the left. And what do the Democrats, what do the black liberals do to her? That's what happens. That's the Democrats push you out of the party. They make you want to leave. They lie about you. They make accusations about your political policy. And then after you do it because you're forced out, they're like, aha, I told you so. I told you it was really MAGA. I told you it was really right. Like, no, they weren't that. You just pushed them out. How do you lose? Joe Rogan didn't want Trump to do his podcast. He several times said, I will not help him. I don't want him to blah, blah, blah. How do you think that changed in the last 4 years? From him saying he didn't want to help him, he didn't want money. He was supporting Bernie Sanders in 2016. He was a California liberal. Like, but for that reason, yeah, I disagree with him on the vaccine. Yeah, I disagree with him when it comes to women playing in male sport. It's little things that don't really got to do with the price of tea in China. But those things were enough to say, you know what? He's a right-wing MAGA extremist. He's anti-science because of this and that. They're still repeating the bullshit that he was taking horse tranquilizers. That's not what he was taking. You saw CNN change the color of his face and make him look lighter, look sicker and yellow. Like, had the doctor come on the show after he got him to admit that CNN was lying on him. Then he goes back on the show on Don Lennon and can repeat the same lie that he already corrected when Joe questioned him to his face. I'm saying all this to say is that people are leaving the Democratic Party because, and this is the thing that keep, even Charlemagne brought this theme up, the Democrat acts like they have this higher moral being and we're the good guys, and no, they're not. Anybody's delusion that any party or any side is not corrupt and have issues is retarded to me. That goes for both the right and the left. But I'm saying what has been exposed in these last two elections is that no, Democrats will do some shady shit. And the funny thing is, not even to the Republicans. Look at the shit they do to their own people in their own party. Look at what AIPAC did to get rid of the two squad members, which I'm glad they're gone. But I'm saying, Stacey Abrams, the big ass, they ran because the party didn't want her to win, want her to run when she ran for governor. They ran a white woman with the same name as her just to pill off some votes so she wouldn't win. Like, Democrats do some foul shit to their own candidates. Look at what just happened with AOC trying to run for the top position in Democrat. Nancy Pelosi got on the phone, was like, nah, you better not vote for her. Even though the party has a problem with youth and young people, Nancy Pelosi, Obama, and Chuck Schumer got rid of Obama. Like, I mean, they got rid of Biden, rather. They did not want Kamala. They only caved to the fake pressure because it doesn't make sense to me, because it's not like black women are going to not vote or vote Republican or vote third party either. Black women, you can play in their face all you want with politics. They do not care. You cannot meet any of their issues, not get anything. Just their candidate, Kamala, winning their black girl magic or Indian girl magic, whatever you want to call it, that would have been enough for them. They would have been happy with the symbolism. They don't give a fuck about the substance. Yet and still, they claim one of the people from Kamala's campaign, or no, one of the people from the chairman, a black guy, admitted, he's like, yo, we couldn't have got rid of Kamala because the black woman would have cried and they were the base of the party. They're less than 5% of the population that probably actually vote. Those numbers would not have mattered. And two, they're not going anywhere. They don't have anywhere else to go. You can completely take advantage of them and shit on them, and they have nowhere to go. they don't have the kahunas to say we're gonna, like those people in Michigan who now the Democrats are mad at because, you know, they said no, we don't care if Trump is no better or whatever. We want you to do this, and we're gonna crash out. And sometimes in politics, you need a good crashing out. You need people to say, you know what, I don't care. It's like I respected Kyle Rittenhouse coming out saying, yo, Trump said some things about guns that I don't like, and he hasn't addressed them yet, so I'm not gonna vote for him. Now the snowflakes on the right, because they do the shit too, they attacked him or whatever. But still, I have no problem with him crashing out saying, nope, he did those things. I don't like those things. I don't agree with those. I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. Trump said some stuff I don't like. I agree with everything that he said. Trump needed to come back and address those things before he can get your vote, if you're truly a Second Amendment advocate, as I am. But that's pretty much my video. I'm going to do another video breaking this down, too, because Karen Hunter, who gets under the radar, she's just as bad, if not worse, than Roland Martin. But because she's on radio, nobody listens to her show. She doesn't get the smoke that she deserves. So we're going to show you something that she did, the same thing, where Stephen A. said his opinion, and he's actually friends with her. Stephen A., stop saying Roland Martin's your friend. He's not your friend. If he was your friend, he wouldn't have titled the video Stephen A. Smith wrote rape, some stupid salacious thing that they put in the titles just to make people watch the video clickbait. Like, no, he wouldn't have did that. He would have called you on the show, like you call him on his show to let him come on and do his Democrat talking points, and you don't challenge him, which I don't understand why you are so soft when it comes to some of these people. You still posture and give credit when the man clearly had his panel lie on you, and he yelled at you for no reason or ranted about you for no reason. Like, what you're saying, we're not wrong, but it's the fact that he's a Democrat shill, which you won't call him. And this is the funny thing, too. When Stephen A. Smith did his video breaking down why he was upset with the campaign, he was asking, about the money being spent. He mentioned Oprah. I think he mentioned Al Sharpton, but he skipped Roland Martin. Think about that. You're calling him your friend, even in your rant when you were pointing out all the money she spent, wasting that billions of dollars, and pointing out who got what. You purposely skipped Roland Martin. Your friend, though, he saw you hurting the Democratic Party. He saw your videos going viral on Fox on the right, and they're using your words and all that. And he said, I know I'm gonna have my panel kiki and haha and attack you and lie on you. If he's your friend, he knows you're truly independent. He knows how you voted. Why wouldn't Roland Martin correct his panelists who said you might as well have been MAGA or you vote in MAGA? That's what a friend would do. Sean Hannity is your friend. He'll have you come on his show, even though he disagrees with you politically on a lot of things. He'll have you on the show. He would not let his panel kiki and haha and attack you for things he knows that isn't true. That's the white supremacist Sean Hannity on Fox News. But your friend, you claim, Roland Martin, will lie on you, act like you're dumb and you don't know what you're talking about. Because that's basically what he said. He told you to shut up and dribble. Like, you do sports, I do this. That's what he said. Well, it's not rocket science what you said. You said, yo, why did this report of all these FBI agents being at January 6th, why are we getting this thing 4 years late and after the election, not before? That could have been monumental in people's decision. Some people wouldn't vote for Trump that are Republican because of January 6th. It's not an end-all be-all on either side, but it's convenient that, just like the Governor Whitmore situation, that those guys were FBI agents too that hoped or planned the kidnapping, and that's how they got off, because they wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for those agents entrapping them to do the thing. And I'm sure the fact on January 6th, there were some provocateurs, just like we admit when it comes to Black Lives Matter, those rocks just magically appear somewhere in front of buildings that were never there, a whole pallet full of rocks. They just get there magically in the middle of the night. Like, it's weird how we don't see that. We see pallets of guns in Chicago off trains that just magically appear out of nowhere. You don't think there's some government facilitating that stuff? So those are just questions we ask. But yes, Stephen A. Smith, stop calling that man your friend. He's not your friend. He did you dirty. Just like Karen Hunter, who you claim was your friend, and she called you when your sister died. She basically said you have your opinions because you're bought and paid for. This is the one you called a friend. This is someone you called like a sister to you. This is the woman you claim helped mentor you in journalism in the first place. Yet, because you've been down the middle on certain issues, and you call out the Democrat Party when they do things that you don't like and they're wrong, and they're obviously wrong, and other people feel the same way, voters feel the same way, they don't like you using your platform to do it. And instead of just being quiet and being act like it didn't happen, they go on the attack. Karen Hunter does it. Roland Martin does it. Shit, Whoopi Goldberg does it. The tap dancing and cooning that Whoopi Goldberg does for the Democratic Party goes unmatched. Like, we don't talk about that enough either. We talk about the coons on the right, but what about the coons on the left? Taraji P, all the shit she was doing, I can't mess with her. I can't support her financially in anything she does anymore. Like the tap dancing and cooning that she did, Kerry Washington, all of them, I would never put my money to them people the way they were tap dancing for this party. The one lady too, Johnson, whatever her name is, the old evil black woman in every movie she played. She was on Blackish, the mom. Her too. She actually was on Stephen A. Smith interviewing him, just trashing black men and all this other nonsense, crashing out for that Democrat Party without getting anything in return. But that's my video. I just thought it was weird that Stephen A. Smith finally dropped his balls and responded to Roland, even though he still conceded in certain areas. Someone go watch the show. Like, I'm not telling nobody to watch this show when you got a panel of people. And this is not the first time they've done that. And all the people on that show have a view of you. They do not like a black man who's independent, period. Point blank. They don't like Killer Mike. Charlemagne, again, and these are light independents, because I'm saying they still vote for Democrats and support Democrats, despite it not being in their best interest financially or policy-wise. You can't make it make sense why Killer Mike, who's very pro-2A, would support Stacey Abrams, whose goal was to ban the same weapons that he believes in keeping and think every American should have. Like, again, I get it. He's black and he lives in a, Democrat city. There's only so far he can go with that. But that's the best we got. That's the thing about it. They do enough to have the black intelligentsia class, the misleadership class, go after them. They want you to only criticize the right, and they want you to be quiet when you see the Democrat doing things that are wrong. That's how they feel. That's what they want. Every single black person on TV that's excusing Joe Biden for pardoning his son for the very crimes that he wrote bills that lock niggas up for, like, you can't make that shit up. Oh, we knew he was gonna pardon his son. That ain't the point. The hypocrisy is nasty work. That this man said if you get caught with this much crack versus cocaine, which we knew was racist in his exception, you go to jail for 5 years, no questions asked. His son had a whole bunch of those little big rocks in those videos on his laptop, smoking them. A president who's very proud that he wrote the legislation or helped get passed the Gun Control Act of 94, 93, whatever, where you can't have drugs and have guns. His son did that. And not only that, but you pardoned him for shit that we don't even know about yet. Like, I can see if you pardoned him for those last few things, the drug stuff, because whatever, the gun charge. But you pardoned him for 10 years of stuff that he could have did on the law. Ah, okay. But Roland Martin's not going to talk about that. You saw Whoopi Goldberg tap dancing excuse that. Roland Martin and Charlemagne and Stephen A. Smith are the only ones who point out the hypocrisy and how y'all got this fake morality thing when y'all do the same dirty shit that y'all accuse of Republicans. Republicans don't act like they don't do dirt. We just saying they're no different. They're not no better. They do shit too. Think about this. People bring up Donald Trump's sexual accusers, whatever. If whatever happens with that, it happens with that. But they never talk about Tara Reid, who's in Russia right now hiding because she's been attacked by the media and by the left. Think about that. You can go get Donald Trump's accusers and go interview them and go write a book with them and whatever. They're all here, free to speak. Every news outlet will give them an opportunity to talk. Tara Reid had to leave the country because she's being attacked by the left. And out of all the stories of sexual harassment and sexual abuse, her story has been 20, 30 years consistent from her best friend, who also said, even though she told me this happened, I'm still voting for him. That's weird shit that white people do too. You know that this dude assaulted your friend sexually for 20-something years, and yet you still voted for him. It's mind-boggling to me. But again, so did Tara Reid, said she would rather have him win than Trump too. But nonetheless, went to Larry King, called him, told him about the whole thing. Told her best friend about it when it happened. Her friend remembers and repeats the same story 20-something, 30 years later. And they don't talk about that on the left. We see videos and pictures of this man sniffing everybody's kids oh, he's just a toucher, a Philly person. Huh? No, we tell people to keep their hands to themselves. We don't make excuses for stuff like that. That's nasty work. But that's the point that Stephen A. was making, is that the Democrats act like they have this high morality argument that they're just better than everybody else, and they're not. And they constantly lie, and they do undercut things, and they do grimy things to other people in their own party. Again, they do that to their own party members. So what do you think they're going to do outside their party? They gave money to wild MAGA candidates because they thought that they would lose in the general election, right? Which is a strategic thing to do. But that means they hurt their own candidates by giving them money and resources to those on the right. And some of those guys actually won. And they hedged their bet and they lost that bet. But I'm saying they do undercutting foul stuff within their own party. And for whatever reason, Roland Martin does not like when you call that out. Karen Hunter does not like when you call that out. The bitches on The View don't like when you call that out. None of them niggercrats on CNN or all this other urban view radio, they don't like when you point out the fuckery that the Democrats do. And that's sad. I can say I don't like when Republicans do shit. I don't like the spending bill that they just try to pass. Like, no, we're going to cut spending, not put a bunch of more. Any Republican that votes for sending money to Ukraine or Russia or whatever, I think they should lose. I have no problem saying I don't like when they do stuff. I'm not a liberal. I'm an independent who tends to vote more or less conservatively. If I knew a Republican voted for some gun control shit, I wouldn't support her. The person that Trump picked, I think, to be in one of the positions, she's flip-flopped on some issues. I don't like her. I get how politics works, whatever, but that's just how it is. I have no problem saying when Republicans do fuck shit, because I know they do fuck shit. The problem is the left don't want to admit the fuck shit that they do. They don't want to call it out. And they want to act all sanctimonious about it. Like, no, that was wrong. And not telling us that there were federal agents and informants on the ground, and they went in there and did bad hood rat shit with the people who were protesting and trespassing. That's not cool that you didn't let us know that from the jump. That's my video. I'm out. It's 20 minutes. It's been a while.